We are in an age of technology, with more and more emphasis in using the technology not only in our everyday lives, but in the classroom as well. I've been blessed to be a part of this internet push from the beginning. In high school, I would rush home to check my emails or IM my friends. Even now, as I pursue my master's, I am thrusted into the world of emails and message boards. But in the midst of the buzz, I'm left thinking that I may be missing something. Am I experiencing as valuable of interactions as I would without my computer? Is there really a benefit to these advances? Should I be encouraging my students to participate in these technological interactions? Stay with me as I chronicle my journey in the search for answers. As I start my exploration, I decide that as a science teacher, I should focus directly on interactions that support scientific learning. I'm planning on trying out 3 different methods. That way I have more data to compare and contrast. So first I look to a message board for my experience with asynchronous interactions. I join up with 2 students from my class to make posts in an effort to create a functioning catapult. Things start out slow as we try to set the stage for our catapult building. 1 full day is spent just becoming clear on our task. Once ideas start flowing, I become aware that the times we have available to make posts are different for each person. So while one person may make a post at 7 a.m., someone might not respond until 9 p.m., causing the flow of our project to be somewhat more that of a babbling brook. It's the second day, and we are now utilizing the picture upload function. This gives us a chance to show what we were thinking instead of having to tirelessly describe in detail our ideas. With more and more parts, we're now able to start establishing a rhythm. With the prototypes built, and a little bit of tweaking needed, I suddenly feel as if we hit a wall and our tempo immediately slows, also changing our rhythm. I start becoming impatient, waiting for responses, checking somewhat compulsively after only minutes pass. So I'm getting kind of impatient here. I'm waiting for my group to respond. It's been 22 hours since we've had someone make a post. We finally get our flow back, and our tempo increases as we make numerous posts per day, our highest totaling 11. We share ideas, making modifications, and retrying our catapult. The flow seems steady as we head towards our goal, but before I know it, we have apparently finished. There was no true ending, it just kind of happened, like a stream that just joins up with a lake and ends. With our task finished, I'm left to contemplate my experience. Here are my reactions. While I may have gotten impatient waiting for the post, for the most part they were meaningful because we had more time to think through what we wanted to say. Also, one of my group members was from Pakistan, so while the timing was off, it was pretty cool that I was able to interact with someone way across the world. The picture function was really cool, but I feared that if we didn't have that, we could have been on very different pages to what we were thinking. On the downside, I didn't feel a connection with my group, which in itself lessens the value of this interaction. It's now Saturday, November 1st, and I'm getting supplies ready to build a high tower with the help of my group through an AIM interface. We have designated a time and we'll start the chat soon. We begin with pleasantries, then quickly jump into telling our ideas. We decide on a tripod base and each set out to achieve that, all with slightly varying models. The flow is strong as we head towards our goal of building the highest tower. We IM each other to share heights and ask for updates. The rhythm is even, maybe only breaking when we reach our heights as towers start to tumble. Without a picture function, it is somewhat difficult to fully understand others' ideas, but our tempo does remain fairly upbeat. As time elapses, the rhythm becomes somewhat irregular as we start working at different paces. For me, I feel as if my own tempo is quite quick, which causes my flow forward to begin to lessen. At one point, 10 minutes elapses between hearing from group members. With me finishing my tower more quickly, I also feel an unsteady rhythm here at the end. We do end with more finality, with our tallest height measuring 73.5 inches, but I'm left wondering once again if the interaction could have been even better if we were working to solve a different task. I felt a bit more connected to my group, something always important for me, but still not a huge connection. We accomplish our task in a much shorter time frame, but because of knowing that our interactions could have been instant, I find myself analyzing the long pauses. Already, though, I'm seeing the positives to synchronous interactions. So here I am, gathering my supplies as I finally test the oldie but goodie face-to-face interactions in the egg drop. I've chosen my mother to work with mostly out of the timing and the availability. This starts out faster than all of the others, as the connection between us is already there. We immediately get our hands on the materials and start our high-tempo search for an egg cradling device. We try different styles, testing them and modifying with a steady flow, tempo, and rhythm for what seems like 30 minutes.
Okay, it's going.
After feeling as if we have exhausted all ideas with no success, I feel like giving up. But with a little encouragement from my mom, we continue soldiering on. The flow kind of stills as our tempo drops while thinking of new designs. It was like we stopped for a few measures, only to come back with a giant crescendo and upbeat melody. With both of us now working out the problems, we try the egg drop one last time. And behold, our unbroken egg. This all works out really well, but I'm left thinking that I could have felt very different with a different partner. Had I felt intimidated or less comfortable, I may not have spoken my ideas so freely, or even continued through until the end. Because of my blue personality and need to feel a connection, I found the face-to-face interaction the most satisfying and meaningful. But I'm starting to see that each type has its own merit. Depending on the outcome desired, I can really see using any of these three types. Well, nothing I say could conclude thoughts to these interactions. After all, every person may see things differently. I feel that I have answered my questions. I'm not really missing out on anything, just giving myself more options. And there are definite benefits to this technology, and I should not only be encouraging my students to partake, but also teaching them to develop their own opinions on these options they have.